Get dominated.
Hi Ganglang.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. It's stream time on a day that I don't normally stream. Emily, thank you for Spotify reminder. Reese, congratulations on first, and Ash for secondary first. Sammy, hello. Milo, hello. Cyber, hello. Just here to chill. Promise no grenades in any gravy here. Thank God. Tyrio, thank you for the resub. 40 months, good God. Rotten, hello. Arctic, hello. Speaking of Raggy, autism, Skeet Ulrich in FNAF 2, ow, my autism. I don't know what most of that means, but shout out to you. And Tyrio eated a cheesesteak. Well, hey, I'm glad today's going so damn well for everybody. That's really what I hope for. Skeet and Matthew back together. Do an art of pretty character. I will be doing art of pretty character today. I hope you are also doing art of pretty character. I painted cats on tree bark. Right. I forgot to turn on my fucking tablet thingy. Hang on, wait. Oh, and my tablet's dying. Oh, everything's gone wrong. Oh, and the song's ending. Wait. Fucking wait. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah. Hello everybody, my name is Almost Xander and welcome home. How are we? Okay, we're listening to this. Except I don't want this. I don't want it. Cool. I'll play literally anything else. We'll play this. Cool. Hey chatters, am I stupid or are you less green? It's just all up here right now and it's really faded. I desperately want Emily to redo my hair, but I haven't asked her because I've been so busy. And I'm also afraid that it's gonna be like fading if I get in the river. But maybe I'll get her to redye my hair this week. I keep thinking about it, but I keep being so lazy. And I also now don't know how to dye my hair because I had a ring of color. So I had like this strip of ring around color. So like this stuff will be easy. But do I just dye half of the braid again? If you notice, the braids are like half and half. Do I just do half again? I suppose I just do half again. Really, I'm really setting Emily up to do a lot of work. My hair is so much work to do. The benefit is that I've never met another person with my hairstyle in my entire life ever, and I doubt I ever will. And that brings me immense joy. Having a ring of color and a bihawk that goes into a mohawk with 2 rat tails. If you ever meet another person with this hairstyle, bro, hit me up. I don't think anyone exists with this, and that brings me joy. I doubt I'm the first person to do this. This isn't incredibly I mean, it is very unique, but it's not like people have done some crazy shit. But I made friends with 3 crows in my neighborhood and got dive bombed by one of them this morning. I don't know if that counts as friendship. I would do art for it, but my new hyperfixation is consuming me. It happens. It's like 8 things combined is where the rarity comes in. Yeah, it's mullet, bihawk, rat tail. I don't even know how else to define it technically, because like also I can like pull all of my hair back and it's like it looks like I've got a shaved head essentially. This is what I would look like with a buzz cut. If you just pretend those braids aren't there, This is what I would be looking with, like with a buzz cut. And I keep thinking about it because I think I kind of eat a buzz cut. So I keep like thinking about like maybe when I'm tired of this, just buzz it all off and start over. I've highly considered, but I really do like having all this hair to play with, and it took me so many years to grow it back. It takes so long to return. In the 8th grade, I had hair down on my butt, but the sides were both shaved. I dyed it all in ocean blue, and I'll never be cool as she was, bro. I feel that. I didn't learn from a mistake. Post another TikTok. 2 more people have followed me on Art Fight, and I'm scared. Art Fight has kind of died off for me. I have not gotten revenges from the past couple of things. Okay, Apterio's hair fell out. That's true. That is factual, I suppose. Yeah, Art Fight has kind of died off for me. I've stopped getting attacks and I've stopped getting revenges. It does look like I just got a notification. Yay, somebody actually responded to one of mine. Very cool. I got a response on the last attack that I gave. But there's quite a few people that I've attacked this year who have not revenged me, which is okay. But that's life. I also don't expect revenges. It's just one of those things of like, I've gotten noticeably less revenges. Most of the attacks that I got this year, well, maybe not. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten less revenges this year. But that's, yeah. Yeah, no worries. I know you gotten a bunch of the new ones from the TikToks. I've been posting TikToks, but I have not gotten a whole bunch from them, but that's okay. I'm going to repost the TikTok I just did today because it only got like 70 views, which means it did stupid things with the algorithm. And I have no shame in posting and then reposting and something. Like this got less than 100 views. We're going to do an experiment, chat. Let's do an experiment right here live. I posted this 5 hours ago. It got like 80 views. I'm going to try something. I'm going to delete it. Delete and re-edit. Whoa. It like lets you do that? Hang on. Bro, wait, hang on. You can delete and re-edit something? I've never tried this. We're pulling an experiment. I'm going to remove all the hashtags is what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to repost it now. So, we're doing an experiment. We're doing an experiment. We're going to repost it and see if it does better. Because like I said, I have absolutely no shames about taking a video down, editing it, and posting it back up to see if it does better. I don't do it often, but I've got nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to try. I'm stuck in 300 view hell. I'm out of that hell, but I'm just in a higher level hell. Like, we're like, I should be getting more views than I do, because it's also proportional to your audience, right? If you only have a couple hundred or even a couple thousand followers, getting 300 views on a video seems semi-normal. And like, I mean, I know the 300 view hell thing of like, it hits a certain point where it's like, okay, every video though, but like, that seems semi-proportional to like, if you're being seen by like 30% of your audience, that's fine. My videos are getting seen by maybe 1% of my audience, because I have over 100,000 followers on TikTok, but I get like 2,000 to 3,000 views. So I'm in like the same type of hell, but at just like a larger scale, where instead of like a couple thousand views or a couple thousand followers and I get a couple hundred views, I have 100,000 followers and I'm only getting a couple thousand views. Like I'm getting like 1% of my viewage, which is like, whatever. Like it's not a huge deal for me. It's just like, it is annoying. TikTok is such an interesting thing that I both love and hate. I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit. Why not? I'm gonna draw while I do it though. So this is what we're working on today. This is this little guy that I'm doing. And this is my little attempt so far. I don't know where my art style has gone this art fight. My art style has gone so many weird places. And I'm just kind of holding on for the ride at this point. I'm just holding on and praying that it ends up somewhere. The development this art fight has been so back and forth. I've done so many that are like, wow, I'm really proud of that, and so many that I'm like, man, that fucking sucked, and I could not get it to look good. Xander, do you like stories and podcasts from I'm Hyperfix? I don't know if you might like. I don't listen to many podcasts because I don't tend to do well to audio because I have to be really focused on it. But I am listening to an audiobook right now, so maybe I will in due time grow into a podcast person. Which is funny because I usually just put on YouTube and then listen to it like it's a podcast. Like I just put my phone down and walk away and listen to it. So maybe I would like podcasts. I used to like Night Vale quite a bit. Welcome to Night Vale. I had Night Vale merch and shit. I even have like is this a Night Vale reference? The mostly void, partially stars. I can't remember. It was this one or another notebook I bought with the same one. That is a Night Vale reference. It's one of those. It's either that one or it was another notebook I got at the same time for my old roomie. Anyways. Yeah, TikTok's weird. TikTok's really weird. The ability to grow on TikTok is insane, and the ability to like fade into obscurity is equally as crazy. I mean, you guys know I've got mixed views on the concept of TikTok, and I'm, as usual, interested in hearing what your guys' opinions are on TikTok as a whole, and like what it's like using it and your experience on it, because eventually this will be a retrospective, because TikTok in theory goes away in March, I think. And I will probably use it right up until the point where it's gone. I doubt I'm going to be leaving it before March. I know that there is the new app M that's supposed to come out to replace it. That'll be the United States only version of it. But like, I will not be joining M, at least for the foreseeable future. I probably will not be pursuing any other type of transferred, like, I'm not looking to replace the app. I probably won't get back on Red Note. I feel like I need to maybe start training myself to get there, because I won't lie when I say TikTok feels like a severe addiction at this point. That like going cold turkey, I think I'd probably pull my hair out, which is disappointing and disgusting, but it is the reality of it. And I bet you half of you guys are the same way, where you catch yourself opening your phone before you even know you're doing it, and then son of a bitch, you're on fucking TikTok again. I mean, I already have a baby lock on my fucking TikTok because it is that bad. Yes, I do send rants and stuff to Tyrio. That is kind of my life's purpose. What else am I supposed to do in the middle of the night? Somebody has to suffer with me. But the thing is, I cut Twitter off cold turkey. I loved Twitter. I spent hours on Twitter. And I would be like digging in like the depths of Twitter hell. Like, and I would be so stressed about it. What did this person say? What did this person respond to? Did this person get ratioed? What did this person think about this thing? This person's getting canceled. And like repost this thing and support this person and participate in this trend and change my whatever. And then I just deleted Twitter. Like I was like, I can't fucking do it anymore. I deleted it off of my phone. I closed out the app on my computer. I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And I felt so much better, like truly immediately. Like I immediately felt less stressed. And like did not get involved in fandom discourse. And like every once in a while I'd hear, you're like, oh yeah, did you hear like whatever is happening on Twitter? I'm like, no, I didn't hear that because I don't use it anymore. And it was so nice. And I'm just hoping that TikTok ends up feeling the same. Or people like, did you hear on Red? Did you hear on Red? Did you hear on no? Or whatever whatever else is gonna pop up. Like, I just don't think I need to do it again. Like, and I know like culturally, like there's a culture that I'd be missing out on. And that's what I like stress about. It's also where I get a lot of my news right now is through TikTok. I get all my goddamn news through fucking TikTok. So like, it'd kind of be hard to just like, I have to make an active effort to like seek out the news now if I wanted it. I actually stopped using Twitter before it even became X. I started using TikTok back in April. My mental health has been so much better, and I haven't felt this mentally okay in years. Yeah, I imagine. I don't TikTok because I know I'll get addicted and I can't just watch it for hours on end. I do. I have a baby lock on it. Funny thing I saw on TikTok was Trump's visit to Scotland. While he was talking to the Prime Minister, someone started playing the bagpipes and completely drowned him out. That's awesome. I never used TikTok, and I was hanging out with my friend, and I personally don't get how she could scroll and scroll. It's like it takes over your brain. Like it does. Yeah, my issue is just going to be not knowing what's happening in the world. Genuinely, I'm going to have to find a new way to get news. Maybe I'm just going to have to start listening to the news. I don't know. I'll tell you the news I find on TikTok. Don't worry. You can just like ask me and I'll read a news report for you like you're reading the paper. Oh, perfect. I don't trust the TV news though. No, I wouldn't use the TV news. There's a website I know of. Jesus Christ, 45 stream streak. That might be our highest. Didn't I promised something to whoever was the first person to hit 100 streams? I don't remember what I promised. If you can hit 100 streams and also remind me what I promised you, I'll do it. I truly don't remember what it was at this point. Your soul? Yeah, you could have that. I only use TikTok every once in a while. My friends get mad at me for not keeping streaks on there. I don't keep streaks anywhere. Oh, speaking of which, I almost forgot about my streak. There's one person I keep streaks with, and it's my old college roommate. It's because it's the only way we communicate, and it makes her happy. Shit, did I break the streak? Have I lost it? No, I didn't. It's okay. Beep beep. All right, stream. Everybody say hi. If you want to say, you could everybody say hi, Aurora. You're gonna say hello. There's all the eyes. I'm only just saying no. There you go. Stream says hi. There you go. You guys are my streak. It's the only way I do. That's the only person I do streaks with. No, not roomie. Aurora, my old college roommate. The one I actually lived in college dorms with. With the talk of TikTok, actually, this comes my talk of what's been on my mind recently. And I've got a lot of weird thoughts about it. So I've decided I want to kind of play around with you guys and think about it as well. One of my things recently is I've started being I've been a little insecure recently. Welcome to another Xander's Insecure Corner. Nobody's surprised, let's be honest. I get insecure. Am I all of this is too low, I'm starting to realize, I think. Your eye is like right the top of your, like the middle of your eye is like right at the inner point. Like I never do that. Like it's supposed to be like up here. I feel like that's more correct. Yeah, I don't know what it was doing down there. I think that's more correct as to where a mouth or an eyeball is supposed to be. Oh hey, the title of the stream, yeah. Oh god, I love this song. I also love this song. I've been real into the Oh Hellos again recently. My Duolingo streak. Is past tense of streaks strokes? Great question. Yeah, the title of the stream. The title of the stream is the insecurities of the mediocre. Me being the mediocre and these being my insecurities. A big chunk of what's been bothering me recently is the concept of mediocrity again, which is something I've talked about on here a lot before, actually. Like an almost surprising amount of times, but you know, I haven't stopped being mediocre, so it hasn't stopped being a concern. And it's, you know, not really a concern, but just like, I sometimes it's fun to talk together and like see what people collectively think. And it's, I don't know, it's just been a thing. I've gone back to this, like, I'm back in the feelings of, you know, jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. And it's usually, I usually try to look at that as like a benefit, right? I look at myself very positively for the whole, like, you know, I can do a lot of different things. I'm at least mediocre at pretty much everything I know how to do. Like, I take on a lot of different tasks and I try a lot of different things. And therefore, like, I have a lot of like knowledge in places where other people might not have it. And it's a cool thing to have, you know? People can ask a question, and regardless of what the thing is, I usually have at least a little bit of information on whatever it is. I can try a skill and almost guarantee you that I'll be at least okay at it. But the thing with that is that stops being useful when it means you're not really great at anything. And we've talked about that. Like, I don't know, but it doesn't always bother me, but sometimes it does. And I guess recently it's just been one of those times it does, because I've realized that part of that comes with the realization that being like a jack of all trades, master of none, but better than master of one kind of thing. It comes with the fact that you won't have any of your accomplishments from any of your things because you've spread yourself so thin. And like, what aren't you a master of? At nothing, anything I do. And you have to be listening to this, like, not with the ears of a friend, but with the ears of like sincerity here. Master doesn't just mean you're good at something. That's a jack. Jacks are mediocre to good at things. Master means the person in the room who does this thing beyond the level that everybody else does. The person who, when you think of them, you think of this thing, or when you think of this thing, you think of them. I'm definitely not, and I don't mean this in like a negative way. I don't mean to be like, I'm not good at anything. I firmly stand on, I am a good artist. I am not the best artist I know, nor am I high enough up in art to call myself like a high level or professional art level artist, nor am I anywhere near close to like not having much to learn or even being satisfied with my own art. But being satisfied is a personal thing. I'm talking like objectively, like I would not label myself a master of art. There are a lot of things I need to work on if I want to be that. But like, that's such a, I don't know how to explain that. The master of spontaneity. I do a lot of that, but that's more of a mental problem than a skill. Skills are something you acquire, something you obtain, something you practice, not a trait you are. And again, I'm not looking for like, but you're the best at this, but you're the best at that. Like, I don't need like reassurance. I want a conversation with y'all. I want a piece of this that like, I don't know where the realization came from, but I talked to Emily recently. Woo, hello, little guy's fiance. Thank you for the follow. My name is Xander. It's good to have you home. Welcome home, friend. But there was this feeling I got the other day, and I don't remember when it was. But I talked to Emily a little bit about it because I had this, like, my grandmother every Christmas sends out a card with, as rich grandmothers do, sends out a card to all of her family members bragging about her grandchildren. It's a rich person thing. Instead of sending out, and maybe it's not a rich person thing. I never experienced it until I experienced a rich family, and those people do it. But like, instead of sending out Christmas cards, you send out a handwritten letter about all of the accomplishments of your family members, whether that's all of your kids or your grandkids. Like, it's a weird little thing that happens. I don't know. And I've been keeping track this year as I'm thinking about all the amazing things my family are accomplishing. Yeah, it's a rich person thing. I feel it. That like, I was just afraid somebody would be like, my family does that and I'm not rich, but like, I'm almost certain. But like, it's just such a weird thing because I'm like keeping track of like, my sister graduated high school and is going off to college. I have several other cousins and family members who are either going off to college or going into the second halves of their degrees or landing professional careers or having baby showers or weddings or pregnancies or engagements and like all of these like massive things. Or like accomplishing things in their life that they've set themselves off to. And I know that I'm viewing this through the lens of a Christmas letter meant to brag. I know that these people are also struggling because I talk to them. They're family members. I know they're also struggling with feeling like they're behind and not successful and whatever. But I had to like stop and be like, there's not a single thing I want to report home on. I don't have anything to tell my grandma like, yeah, this is the thing that I've accomplished recently. Despite the fact that there are things that I'm proud of to some degree, like gathering a bunch of new friends in the area that I live in, or accomplishing my goal in art fight, or even just this community thing, like this community that I have here. I myself am happy about those things, but like, I don't have much to report home on, like, I've actually accomplished this thing. I don't have accomplishments. If you're not a master of art and writing, then who is? Again, I truly do believe it's and I'm not trying to be mean to you. I hope, I just prefacing that to say, I hope this doesn't come out mean, but I think it's objectively wrong to say I'm a master of art or writing. Because like, again, a master implies that you are as good as it gets in this craft. Maybe not that you're perfect or inhuman, but like, you are the highest level. You are the person that everybody goes to. You are the teacher of it. You've surpassed what other people can teach to you. Kind of like, I am mediocre at writing. I'm not saying I'm a bad writer. I think I'm a good writer. I think I have a lot to learn. Like, genuinely, I'm not saying from like a place of like insecurity, because I like my own writing. I just know there is better. Because I'm reading books that are a higher level writing than my writing is, meaning I know there's something higher to attain to. Like, no, I know that I'm not saying perfect, but there are masters of their craft, people who are the best at what they do. And I don't think there's just one. There's not like the master, but there are masters of their craft, like people who have reached their highest level. Like, and I know everybody's always growing and always getting better, but like, I don't know. Yeah, and the transition phase thing is one of those things that like I'm aware of. Like, obviously I'm not in the middle of graduating or getting a degree or getting married or having kids. Like, I know I'm not in a transitional phase, and that in like 5 or 6 years, every single one of my cousins and sisters will be in the same phase I am. Like, that I'm aware of. And that's true. Life is always about learning. But I had this weird feeling because I realized, like, if I just committed myself more, like if I picked something, like if I could just pick something and commit myself to it, I'd be further along than I am. But I haven't. I would be a lot farther in my art if I just committed to working on art. If I could just commit to wanting to be a tattoo artist, I'd already have a mentorship at this point. I would have committed to it. If I could have just like, I don't know, if I could just commit to one thing, I'd be further along. If I committed to getting the lore done, it'd be out by now. If I committed to my book, I'd probably be published. But I jump from thing to thing. Like, I'm very greedy with knowledge. I'm constantly wanting to learn and do more, and it means that I don't actually learn or do anything at a high enough level. Knowing a couple words in every language isn't useful. Like, being kind of okay at a shit ton of skills doesn't end up actually like becoming anything. That's the thing I'm trying to get to. And it also is like the fact that like, and this isn't a disparage on myself. I don't mean this in like a, I really promise, I'm trying to say this in ways to make it so clear that I'm not trying to fish for compliments. That's not what I want. I'm not interested in people trying to like make me feel better. I'm just trying to like explain a thought process of like, it is really frustrating. You have ADHD. Those things are common in ADHD. I have ADHD and autism. Haha. But like, I'm not complimenting you. I know you're not. I'm saying like, I don't want it to come off that way. But like, I'm trying to explain the like, I don't know how to put it into words. That like, I'm frustrated that I've not been able to find the thing that like I can commit my life to and become like the quote unquote master of my craft. Like, dedicate myself to becoming good at this thing. And instead I don't have a thing. Like, I just like, I do art and I do write and I do fucking crafts of so many different sorts. And I do like, I do so many things, and it's always impressive to people when they hear all the different things I do. Like I've had therapists who are like, have you tried? And I'm like, anything you're about to say, the answer is yes. Therapy, yes. Poetry, yes. I do poetry. I do writing. I do journaling. I do drawing. I do yoga. I do exercise. I do fucking all of it. I do all of it. I do everything. I've tried everything. I've stuck my face everywhere. And that's not like, obviously it's an over exaggeration. There are still things I haven't done and things I want to do, but like I can't. Yeah, super understandable. It's just searching and waiting for a click that never happens. And I keep seeing everybody else find a thing and click. And not necessarily even that they find this thing and they're suddenly like, this is my life cause. But like, people dedicate themselves to something and they get better at it at a pace that's so much faster than me that like, that has always been a problem with me. I'm a slow learner. Like, and that's just life. It's like, I pick up on things and I can get okay at things, but like, I get in my own head, which is my own problem. It's an art sin. I'm aware of it. I am the art sin of sloth. I am the I'm gonna do it until I'm perfect and I won't release anything until it's perfect kind of person. And I really struggle with that. I know it's a problem. I became the master of swatting flies. Good Lord. I'm the same dog. I'm slightly good at about everything I do. And you view me the way that you do. Why not view yourself the same way? Which is true. Obviously, like, I obviously am gonna be my own biggest critic. But it's just, I don't know. It is. It's a case of the grass is always greener somewhere else. Somebody else has something that I want. And I'm a type 7 at heart, and I know that like the grass is always greener somewhere else. Someone else always has what I want. Whether it's an art style or a writing style or a skill or a language or whatever it is. Like, I don't know. I think the personally I search for something that's like an immediate mastership and talent and dedication, but that's just not how hobbies work. So I get mad that I'm not good at it and never do it for years since perpetual cycle. Yeah. It is. It's kind of insufferable that I do it too. Cause like, and I don't, it doesn't bother me when other people do it for the most part. Cause like, I don't notice it in other people when they're doing it. I just notice it in me. But the thing is, there's a few things in my life I haven't. Art and writing. I've been doing art and writing since I was probably 8 years old. Like, I've been drawing and writing consistently since I was probably 8. And like, yes, I've improved. And sometimes it's really fun to go the like, I don't know. Gotta go easy on yourself, gotta run. It's okay, Cyber, see you later. I know I've improved. Even just like looking at art fight and stuff. Like if I go back to my first year of art fight, yeah, I've improved. Like, and sometimes it takes like looking at this and being like, oh God, what happened 5 years ago? But it's also almost, and again, this isn't trying to be insulting on myself, but it's almost embarrassing that this wasn't a middle school drawing. This was 5 years ago. I was 20 drawing like this when I've been drawing since I was 8. This looks like a middle schooler's drawing. But also, my skill level is so inconsistent that in the exact same year, I drew this. In the same month, like weeks later, I drew this. This is not a middle schooler's drawing. This looks like something that's like somebody who's learning to be an artist drew. Like, my skill level is so wildly inconsistent. And that's like such a weird thing to grasp. Like, even since last year, I've grown a lot. Or 2 years ago. I mean, like, I'm still baffled that I managed to whip this one out. Like, I know I'm capable of good art. But also, like, it varies. And sometimes this is the best I'm capable of. And it's still good. This is the one I finished today. It's still good, but I look at it and I know I could do better. I chose my thing and I'm still the worst at it out of everyone I know because I never practice and I can't actually do most components of it. See, and again, maybe I'm in the wrong for this because again, you like from my perspective, I'm gonna do my best to say this in a very I'm gonna try my best to say this well, okay? I like to think I look at myself pretty neutrally. I don't hate on my shit. I don't send my art and say that I hate it. I don't send my writing and say that I hate it. Sometimes I do writing and I'm really proud of it. Sometimes I do writing and I'm like, this is mediocre, but it's fine. I think I'm a good writer. I think I'm a good artist. I think I'm not the best at any of the things that I do, but I do think I'm good at all of them. I'm a good artist. I make good shit. I've done a lot of improving. Am I the best? No, but that's reasonable. I definitely don't think I'm the worst. I do not believe that. I know I'm not the worst at any of the things that I'm doing amongst the, like, I don't know, whatever the measurement is. But Ali, I truly believe that you are objectively incorrect and are subjectively clouded against yourself. You dislike your own writing. That's your, like, that is like a subjective cloud over your head that you can't see past. Yeah, and yes, it is. It's valid if you want to say you feel like you have limited skill set and that you could never do it as a career. I could never do any of the things I'm doing as a career. I'm not going to make a career out of being an artist or a writer, unfortunately. I'd love to, but I know I'm not capable of that. But that's okay. I'm just, like, learning to accept that. But, like, you are objectively one of the best writers that I've ever met. Like, and I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, you're my friend. And you're like, I mean, unsubjectively. You're also in college for it. Like, it's literally, like, something you've been doing your entire life. But, like, you are objectively one of the best writers I've ever met. And I guess that is to my subjective opinion on writing. Yeah, perfect is impossible because points of view. Some people think flowers are beautiful, and some people think Christmas lights are beautiful. They're not the same thing. We are also, unfortunately, a group of people in a friendship where all of us are creatives. We're all creating and writing and making. And so there's this, like, world of competition that kind of spawns out of it. And it's like, I don't know what to do about that. I guess it's not really like I feel the need to do anything about it. It's just like, I don't know. I also have not thought about where the light's coming from here. I'm just putting shadows. I guess the light's coming from up here, probably. I don't know. I could never just decide that I want to write a thing and then write it. I occasionally produce something that I like, but I don't feel like I have absolutely any control over how something turns out or if it's good or not. And again, it's so rare that I actually write anything at all that I'm not a master in any capacity. I also know that writing novels is not always the goal or standard, but I couldn't write a novel even if I wanted to. That's valid. I feel like, because I'm not fishing for compliments, I'm trying to complain from a different angle. Exactly. I hear what you mean. And I'm not trying to give you compliments because I don't think you're fishing for them. I'm just stating objective opinions. It's kind of like, again, I don't like saying bests or worsts or whatever, but I think it's pretty fair to say that Emily is the best artist in this friend group. Like, I don't think that's insulting to any of us or putting myself down to say that the person who has dedicated her life and career to art is the best artist out of all of the people that I know. Like, that, I feel like that's a fair observation to make. But if somebody doesn't like Emily's style, that like, obviously they're not going to agree with me. Like, so there's like this weird, like obviously, I don't know, it's weird. And it's true, I have the same feeling that you have with writing that I have with art, that it's almost like I have no control over when I make a good piece of art. It's like I can try as hard as I want to try to make a good piece of art, and some days I just can't. Like, it doesn't matter how hard I try or what I do, it just looks bad. It's bad when you simultaneously pick your one hobby, but you're also too lazy to ever practice it, so you stay struggling for eternity. Every person you know might be a stretch, but I appreciate it. I don't know, I look at all of your art and it seems fairly masterful in their own way. And yes, we all have our own styles. Like, obviously, like, there's, like, I can't do Reese's art like she does, and Reese can't do my art, and I can't do Emily's, and Emily can't do yours, and whatever, and whatever, whatever. Like, that's its own thing. But, like, I was gonna say it's like I'm the best at math, but I realize it's really stupid because math cannot be subjective. See, but even then, like, that's still a skill that you have. You can still be, you're the best at us for speaking French. It's a skill that you have. Like, and I guess that's slightly different because it isn't subjective. It is just objectively you are. You're objectively the best at math here. You're like, whatever. That's a different measurement, but the same idea. From my own point of view, the limited, everyone around me creates and destroys. I enjoy being able to look from above and see all the art and stories that pass around me. Every story is something special, even if the story is good or bad. You made a story, and that story now exists whether you like it or not. Same with art. You can see the brushstrokes. You can see the time and dedication to tell a story. And I personally will always enjoy my POV viewing all the stories around me. Yeah. I'm going to college to try and settle on what to go to college for. My lifelong career will generally send me into a panic. Because, like, what if I don't like it or not good at it? Pause just to tell you, Milo, it doesn't matter. They've lied to you their entire life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I promise it doesn't. You do not have to pick your lifelong career right now. I have an education degree. I'm currently working as a medical receptionist in a Planned Parenthood, training to do phlebotomy as a nurse with an education degree. Doesn't matter. You can get your degree and never use it. You can get your degree and decide you want a different degree and go get another one. You could go get 10 degrees. You could go to college and drop the fuck out and go do something else for fun. It doesn't matter. I promise it doesn't matter like you think it does. The only time it matters is if you have a thing in your head, you're like, this is the degree I need because I have to, I want this thing. If you want to be a marine biologist and that's your life's desire, you need that thing. But you're gonna live for like 70 years at absolute minimum. Like if you get unlucky, and obviously like random things can happen, but if you get unlucky and get like, you know, whatever, bad health, you got 70 years of life to live. If you're lucky, you got like 90. You could decide on a career and spend 20 years at that career and then decide you don't like it and start a brand new one over and over and over and over again. Like it just, the world doesn't matter. I promise. What is a Flabmont City? Phlebotomy is, it's the people who draw your blood. Phlebotomy is blood drawing. I feel like everyone is like that at one point, Ollie, TBH. I'm also the best violinist I know and by far the worst in my actual orchestra, so it really doesn't matter. That's another thing. That's like, if you compare it to your friends, you're the best, and you compare it to the people who actually do it, and you're not. You're the worst. I went to college to be a vet and dropped out, yeah. What would you do if you neglected a skill? What would you do if you neglected a skill and then when you try the skill again years later, it's no longer the same quality and you just get demotivated? It's no longer the same quality as it had before. The thing is, you know you're capable of it because you've done it before. That's like if you used to be a runner and you get an ankle injury and you have to stop running for 3 months. You can't just suddenly start running 5Ks again. You know you're capable of running a 5K because you've done it before. You know physically, mentally, emotionally, you are capable. But you can't just start doing it again. It would be obscene for anybody to think you possible. You drop a skill, you have to retrain yourself. You stop going to the gym, you have to start back at 5 pounds. You forget to do your art, you have to start learning again. I'm a senior in college, I hardly don't think I've learned a single thing that I didn't already know. It only matters if you legally need a degree and an exam for that career, but those are very few. Yeah. As someone who has ADHD and constantly bounces around hobbies that don't have a thing I'm the best at or sometimes even great at, that's probably why I'm so drawn to the phrase a jack of all trades and a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. It's true. Yes, and Emily can't write what Ollie does and Ollie can't write what Emily does because that's just how things are. I need a degree to be a psychologist and I love the field so much, but like, what if I'm not good at it? Then you start over. If you're not good at it, then you go to school to be good at it. That's what going to school for is. That's what training is for. That's what a first-year psychologist is not going to be as skilled as a 20-year psychologist. It's practice. It's learning. You're here to learn. I could care less about the degree I'm getting. What matters is the experiences and connections that are available to me as a college student that wouldn't be otherwise. That's true. We're going to school for performing arts and I have my friends. I'm the best violinist, but with them, I'm years behind all the experience they have. Yeah. And that's just one of those things. I could always just learn how to and make video games without attending university, but that's not what I'm attending for. Yeah. That's a completely different thing. So basically, fuck it, we ball. Yeah. You're supposed to try things to see if you like them. If you don't, you can try something else. Yeah. Yeah, that's what your 20s are for. Now, a tattoo for a living is hard asset. You just have to do it. Yeah. The things I feel in master are at really tiny skills, like spelling, grammar, or typing speed. But those are little pieces of a bigger skill, you know? Like those are like the parts of something that like build up to something bigger. My violin teacher told me that if you went to a school and were absolutely perfect, there'd be no point in going because you go to school to learn. What's the point? Well, yeah. What's the point of being there if you already know it all? How do I do it again when, how do I start small when I couldn't and didn't draw for full years? You start as if you've never drawn before at all. If you want to actually get back into drawing, the first thing you have to do is fall in love with drawing again. Or you'll hate it all over again. Like, you have to just like drawing again. And to like a skill again, you have to remember it, like what it was like to not care how good you were at it. Most of us who are artists now started when we were kids because we liked drawing. Not because we were like, oh, one day I'm going to be a Michelangelo. We started drawing because we liked drawing. You have to start there. There's nowhere else that you can start. If you don't like art, you will always resent doing it. I don't know how many of these things he's supposed to have. I'm going back up. I keep trying to connect this conversation, but all my hobbies feel like they're only hobbies I know how to do, and no one else can relate honestly. Who's going to be like, oh yeah, Warrior Cat's roleplay? I get you. Terry's the best Warrior Cat's role player. So real. Yeah, Tyrio's exceptionally good at writing descriptions. Xander exceptionally good at drawing texture and lighting. Thank you. I'd be fine with not going to college, but I came from one of those lower class families, so if you don't go to college, you end up homeless. So I'm tempted to just not go to college and continue working my current job because I genuinely love it. So do it. You can always go to college later in life if you want to. I will say I'm not going to lie to you, because people are going to be like, oh, you can always just go later. It is significantly harder if you wait. And you'll miss out on a lot of connections. That's the thing that people miss out on when they wait to do college. But for some people, that's okay. I'll start with how I started as a child with cat drawings. That's the way to do it. Emily, you're exceptionally good at writing with perfect pacing and also with symbolism. You can always enter college later in life too. Exactly. Reese is exceptionally good at poetic writing and also writing realism and nice slice of life stuff. Real. Life is short, but also terribly and insufferably long at the same time, says Jenna Marbles. So real. What do you mean dressed as a toothbrush, mind you? Wish I'd gone to beauty school area where I'd probably be just where I am, even if I did. I have a friend who's my age, and she just now graduated from beauty school. So she's 26, about to be 27. No, or 25, about to be 26. I can't remember exactly how our birthdays lined up. No, she's 26, about to be 27. Because she's the same as mine. That, like, she went back to college years after she graduated high school. Specifically, she went back to be an esthetician, to beauty school. It's too thick. Something like that, I don't know. Something like that. I sometimes draw pretty pictures, bro, me too. What am I exceptional at? Drawing detail and world building, real. Stream can be a mass complaint train. Go crazy. Very slightly rated, but I hate that if you don't go to college, you'll live a miserable, terrible life, poor and homeless, because that's just not how it works. You may not have the most money, but it doesn't guarantee a terrible life. My aunts worked paycheck to paycheck and they're living their best lives. Yeah. I just found out Tom. Yeah. Singing. I feel like I'm good at singing, but I hear everyone else singing. Suddenly it feels like I'm a fire alarm that's low on batteries. But what's good about being a fire alarm low on batteries is that even though I feel annoying every time I beep, one day I'll be given batteries. My voice will be important again. I'm just low on batteries. Good lord. I don't even know. I don't know where all of this was supposed to be going. I don't really have like a purpose to all of this. I just wanted to like talk about the concept of being insecure as an adult, of like there's also something to be said about the whole like my skill level as an artist used to be impressive when I was, you know, like 16 or younger even. It hasn't been impressive for my age in a while. Like it's just not impressive for my age anymore, like my skill level, which is like its own thing. Trying to see what details I'm missing here. I think we're pretty good here. I think I need to start getting color down on this thing. Was there... Okay, no. Instead of spoon theory, it's just batteries. Wait, what's spoon theory? The concept of spoon theory is that when you wake up every day, you are given a certain amount of spoons, and some people just have more spoons than other people do, and every task that you do requires you to use a spoon. So when you hit a certain point in the day, you run out of spoons, which is why some people can do more than other people, because some people start with more spoons than others, and some tasks take more spoons from you than they take other people from. Like for some people, taking a shower might refill their spoons, but for some people, it may take 10 spoons to take a shower. So it's just like a concept of like trying to explain to people the concept of like not everybody can do what you do in a day. That's like the base concept of spoon theory. Yeah, and sometimes your spoon ends up being a fork, and forks are, at least the way I've seen most people use forks in spoon theory, is that forks are the inconveniences you could handle. Some people have more forks than others. A fork might be chronic pain, like you're just in pain all the time. Your fork might be that you're, you know, fucking, I don't know, I've seen people give really good examples, but I always struggle to think of them in the moments I need them most. Like, it's sometimes you're just tired. You didn't sleep well last night, so you wake up with a fork. Or sometimes it's because you had a fight and now you're just in a bad mood today, so you got a fork running you, or your dog is sick or whatever. And it's like you can usually handle like one or two things, or maybe even three or four, but you're gonna be less able to do things because you've got forks instead of spoons. And then also, like, everybody has a different fork tolerance level. The metaphor starts to get really complicated when I try explaining it like this. But it makes sense, I promise. Yes, and some days you wake up with a knife, and honestly, there's really not much you can do with a knife. Let's be real. There's really only one thing it's good for. Oops. I get so discouraged sometimes whenever I see like 8-year-olds playing a freaking 20-minute long solo with a symphony in the background. I'm sitting here like I barely passed the beginner books. Yeah, and that's just not something you can control. I personally have a randomized spoon count. I might wake up to 10 and the next day it's 60, and most of the time I have 4 forks because of my disability. Yeah, that's what most people is. Most people wake up with, like, some days it's a high spoon day and some days it's a low spoon day. But it feels like an easier way to communicate and be like, hey, like, I'm low on spoons today, than being like, hey, I woke up and I just don't think I'm capable of being a person today. Please be understanding. That doesn't always make sense to people. I don't know. There's some interesting thoughts on all of this. Cause like, I don't know. It is true that like I get frustrated when I see people and I think they're better at their craft than they believe themselves to be. But then I also get mad at people when they tell me my craft is better than I think it is, because I'm very critical of things. But then like if I was critical of them, I'm like I'm allowed to be critical of you and you're allowed to be critical of me, and I'm allowed to tell you that you're good, but you're not allowed to tell me that I'm good because I'm the master of being critical. I know what's really good and bad, and this is bad slash good slash whatever I think about it. I don't know, it gets messy. Came with my own version of spoon theory called sugar packet theory. I used it with my vaso egg. It's just vaso. Vasovagal syncope, just vaso in my brain. I start the day with a sugar packet, and then when something uses it up, aka trigger to my vaso, I need to get a new one, sometimes literally. Sometimes literally, for real. I really need a shower, but that costs 5 spoons and I only have one. If I take a snooze first, I can regain some spoons and maybe it'll cost less also. Yeah. And some days you use more spoons than you have, and then you end up with like a flare-up. You end up doing worse than you were before. I drew a cat. First time in a while I finished something. I'm proud of you. Good job. That right there is you taking control of your spoons, your forks, your whatever the fuck we've been talking about today. You're chasing the thing that matters to you. Not much else matters. If you're chasing the thing that matters to you, not much else really matters. I guess that's where I had gotten into my own feelings, because it was specifically just that, like, I could have accomplished so much if I would have just committed myself to something. And instead I didn't commit myself to anything. And it's also that, like, my stepdad warned me about this years ago. That he sat me down and was like, you want to do so many things. And I'm like, yeah, I want to experience everything. And he's like, but you're not going to experience anything to its fullest if you're just, like, dipping your toes into everything. Like, there's, like, a certain level of it that you'll never reach then. And I was, like, really, like, against that idea. I was like, I want to try all of it. But I think I'm hitting that point where I'm like, well, shit. He's right. I haven't committed myself to any one thing. And therefore, like, yes, I've gotten a million awesome experiences. And also, like, there's so much that I've not gotten to accomplish because I haven't seen the end of any of it. God damn. I gotta pee. Sorry, I know we're having a deep emotional thought, but I gotta piss. Entertain yourselves for a moment. Oops. Nope. Wait. Nope. I didn't mean to pin that. Wait. Hold on. God. I hate when this breaks. My chat's broken. I can't scroll. That's not what I wanted either. Ah. I'm stuck. I just get irrationally frustrated when you say you're not a master of art and writing because it makes me feel like the goal is completely unattainable for any human on earth, but I shouldn't take it so personally. I think anybody who's finished a book is a master. I don't. We definitely have... I'm getting pinned, dear God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I can't even see what people are saying. My chat is broken. What is happening? My art style, I want it back so hard, but I'm gonna pose myself, lower my expectations, start from scratch again. It's fine. It is. It's practice. I don't know you in real life. You do not know me. I live in an enchanted garden. I already unpinned it. Okay, wonderful. Thanks. Yeah, Ollie plays violin. She is an unknown creature. Chariot to the rescue. Thanks, Mod. But yeah, no, I am, and here's I guess I am a very critical person. I'm probably overly critical. I'm probably more critical than I need to be. Hang on, I'm taking my pants off. I have too many pants on. I have too many pairs of pants on right now. The number of pants being 2, which is 1 pair of pants too many. I needed to go down a layer of pants. Sorry. But no, I don't think that anybody who has finished a book is a master, because there are poorly written books out there. Like, you can finish a book and it's not any good. That's possible. I hate pants and sleeves. I literally cannot sleep. I have long sleeves. These were comfortable just to hang around in, but it was just too many. For the British out there, I'm talking about my trousers, not my pants. I was wearing 2 layers of trousers. If you're so confused. That's my sign that I can't be on much longer, because I've started sneezing again, so I cannot be here much longer. And I also might need to take more cold medicine. Oh. If that starts getting worse, I have to go put myself to bed. I'm just barely starting to get better. Feel like actual awful. Obviously, shitty books exist, but I think producing a generally good quality book makes you a master, unless being a master means you literally cannot improve anymore. No, I don't think being a master means you physically cannot get better anymore. But I would argue that masters are the people that people go to, that they look up to. They're not just good writers, they're great writers. Like, I have a few authors that I would call the master of their craft. But, like, I've read plenty of books where I wouldn't say, like, this person's a master writer. They're just a good author. Like, there's a difference between, like, the one person who cannot get any better and reading something they're like, holy shit, they really, really get this. I'm confused then. What are you confused on? What am I not explaining well? Because it's very likely a communication thing on my problem. Xander's whole thing is just not having one specific niche that he's known. It's not even that it's not that there's one specific niche that I'm known for. It's just that I under no circumstances would I look at my art or my writing or go, holy shit, he really knows what he's doing. Like, he has got it figured out. There are some times I do a piece of art where I feel like I'm very close to that I'm like, yes, I see the horizon. Hatsune fucking Miku, you know what I mean? There are occasionally times where I get very close to that feeling. But there are certain artists that I look at and I see their art and I'm like, holy shit, they get it. Like, they know what they're doing. And I try to learn from them. We have different definitions of the phrase master of none. In your definition, masters are unfathomably rare to the point where it's not a goal I'd ever expect to even care to reach anyways, you know? But like, and again, maybe this is different for me, but like, isn't that the goal? Because if not, then like, why? Like, and I know that's true. I've argued with my friends before that I have a very different view on like, if I want to do a skill, it's either because I want to do it because it's fun, or I want to do it because I want to be the best at it. Not to like get in front of other people, but like my goal is always to become a master at whatever I'm doing. I want to get to a point where I can look at my own writing and go, damn, he really gets it. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get an opinion across. He knows how to get an emotion across. He knows how to capture his reader. Like, that's the goal. The goal should always be to be the best at whatever you're trying to do. Not the best as in like better than everyone else around you, but the best as in like you're always obtaining to a higher level of standard. You're always trying to get better. Or you're enjoying yourself. There's two different types of skills. You're never wasting time if you're either improving at a skill or enjoying yourself. It's just being the best among your peers of that subject. Do you have a playlist? I like the mix of songs. Yeah, find me at Almost Xander on Spotify, and I have a playlist called All of Xander's Music. That's what this is. This is just my liked playlist. I'm so glad someone else has an art style. Someone else has art style changes because I generally feel like a fraud as an artist for not having a concrete art style. That's one of my biggest insecurities. Like, truly. Look at the difference between, say, this piece of art, right? This is my art. I did this month. I also did this. This was the next piece of art I did. I did this, and I also did this. And I also did this. And this. None of these are the same art style, even a little bit. These were all done one after another. These two are both me. Both my art. Completely different styles. Like, and then I like stick to a style for a little bit, and I'm doing one thing, completely different thing. Not quite entirely different, but like, this is completely different from this. This is a completely different style. This is more of the same. This is like, I don't have an art style. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I'm very insecure about it. Yeah, the goal should always be the best you can be. My art style is just randomly generated every time, truly. It's spin it on a wheel and just hope it lands. Oh, he's got fucking up pupils. I gotta fix that. Those are cool eyes. My only concrete art style is when it comes to physical mixed media, and every other art form is stuck on randomized. Can you say your Spotify username again, or could you write it in chat, please? My brain refuses to comprehend the word. It's the same as my Same as my channel name here. That's how you'll find me everywhere. Every platform ever you'll find me under almost Xander. Same name as you see on Twitch. I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Pinterest, I'm on fucking everything. All of it. You can find me everywhere. Actually, I don't think it's true for Pinterest. Instagram. Tablet's not working, so I'm drawing an attack on paper that I made myself. Feels pretty badass. There you go. That's kind of dope. That's kind of dope, actually. Don't need to apologize. You're good. We're finally approaching the end of Art Fight, and I'm excited to have a break. Trust me, I love art as much as the next person, but I've been drawing every day for the past month, and I at this point I can't tell if I've improved or if I've just hit like a burnout. I feel like I was improving, and then I feel like I or at least I was like experimenting and discovering and like trying new things, which is good. And then I feel like I hit a wall where I was like, I just want to be done. So I don't know if I'm improving anymore or if I'm just tiredly still going. Can you check out the Mechanisms? It's a theatrical concept band about immortal space pirates telling stories. Sure. The Mechanisms. Can't promise that I'll pay close attention to it because we're working on whatever. Ooh, but they've got one called Loki. Onto the queue. That'll play after whatever's playing right now. I'm also have to restart my tablet at some point or reconnect my tablet because it keeps doing that thing where it registers my... Man. Every once in a while it has trouble like not registering my hand. We'll be better by the more. Need to go bye? Bye, mate. Thanks for being here. You doing art fight like this impresses me, but also I saw someone attack with some badass cosplays of the OCs. Like, whoa. Yeah, I've seen some people do some really cool shit like that. There's always some really creative people in art fight who do some really amazing things. They make some awesome music. Trust. I trust. I trust. Yeah. One small rock at a time. See, and I know this is part of doing art, is these like little details like this. But also, this is the stuff that means that like I've been avoiding on art fight, because if I need to get attacked on every day, on the days where I'm tired and I don't want to do a bunch of work, you better bet I'm skimping out on doing all this little detail shit. And we'll be better by the summer. I'm like trying to like fill in all the parts that I can see that aren't like fully colored in. Like all this isn't even like fully covered in. Okay, that's better. All right, I think that's all the individual things. Now it's just gonna be shading and detailing and shit like that. I'm gonna try to do like embers and shit going that way. So there's gonna be 2 light sources. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. Maybe you feel like you're mediocre at things, or a jack of all trades, or a master of nothing, or maybe you're like, I don't know. I guess, in all honesty, I'm certain there are people who go the other direction, who like have committed themselves to this one thing, and there's this like suffocating feeling of like I don't know. This concept of like, well, I have to be the best at this thing because it's the only thing I can do and I've dedicated my life to it, and if I'm not perfect at it, then what was the point? Like, I am capable of understanding that there is another level to this beyond my own. I meant to go to see Destroy Boys live in 2 weeks. I'm kidding. A music festival they're at. That's so fun. That's such a good way to go see people. Painting. Reese's standing. Ollie says, I think for me, when it comes to skills, my goal is not to improve quality, it's to improve ability, which sound like the same thing, but they feel different. To me, being a master of writing doesn't mean I'm writing perfect quality stuff. It means that I can just decide to write whatever I want and it will exist. I can take what's inside my brain and put it on my paper. It will. That's mastery to me. Yeah. That's to me, that's at it, even if it's not the entire thing, that's part of it for me too. Like, I 100%, yes, I agree that is a massive piece of it. That's actually one of the biggest parts of art that I truly do believe I fail at, is that I have these ideas in my head that I can't get on the paper. That's part of why I think I'm not a master at art. Specifically with posing and anatomy, I struggle immensely with it. It's part of the reason that I would deeply argue that I am not a master of art, because I struggle so badly with that, and I can't just pull something out of my head and just create it. This is some interesting music, but it's quite cool. I feel like that's one of the major things that holds me back from being a master at art. Like, not trying to say that I'm a master at art by any stretch of the mind, but one of the things that like severely holds me back from being like, yeah, I'm a master artist, is that I'm not capable of just pulling an idea from my head and putting it on the paper. I'm not capable of that. I need references at a higher level than just like, oh, it's okay to use references. Of course it's okay to use references. I need them quite severely. My quality of art drops, like, not just like a little bit, but like severely if I'm not working directly from a reference image. And I know that's true for a lot of people, but like, Reese just got hardcore pigeonholed by Xander. What do you mean? Do I not know what pigeonholed means? Pigeonholed in my idea is like I've shoved you into a specific box. Did I box you in something? It started as a joke, but it's so fun. I beg your pardon. That's why I see you as a master of writing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to box you into something. I don't remember doing so. I'm certain that I referenced something that you relate to, but it wasn't in reference to you. I acknowledge that that's something you've said you relate to, but you are not the only person, and it wasn't meant to be a direct reference at you. That's why I see it. I think you think we struggle less than we do. I know writing is very hard for you, but it is always easy for us to create as it might seem. You know anything about skills that it's not like a tool that you obtain, you must use, that you can use in any way you want, and it always works the same. It's true. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm also not comparing myself specifically to you guys. I'm just saying in general. I'm basically not an artist. If I don't have a billion references for everything, yeah. I started trying out AI for rendering an image closer to what I want and use that as reference. Probably not the best way to go about it. There are other ways to get references. I don't support generative AI, unfortunately. There's better ways to do it. Go reference like real life. And I know it makes art like more accessible because you can see what you picture in your head, but like there's so many of us also struggle with that, and there's just other ways to do it. You gotta find the skills within yourself. I tried making animatic, but I physically couldn't because it wasn't working by reference, but purely by my brain. Yeah, that's why I struggle with them too. And also the amount of work that they take. I thought it had to do with actual pigeons. Like, I know that writing an entire book is extremely difficult and time-consuming and grueling. I am also just frustrated that it's not something I'm capable of in any capacity, and that doesn't mean I never could, but that's why I'm saying I'm not a master. No, I agree. You're not a master, but like, I guess we do have different definitions for mastery. Skill versus ability is a very valid difference in like what we're referencing right now. Like having like the ability to do the thing and the skill level, those are, to some degree, they are different things. You're right. And it's true, writing comes easier to some people than it does to others, and the skill level also comes easier to some people than it does to others, and there's a lot of nuance there about like what part of that makes you masterful at your craft or whatever. And obviously everybody will have a different opinion on that because that's a complex one. This body is slowly coming along. I'm good at drawing things I don't want to draw and writing things I don't enjoy writing. Dinner, I must go to work, Sag. I understand, Milo. But it was good to have you while you were here. I hope I see you again soon. I also said that Xander is a master to me because of the deep understanding of writing and storytelling from a technical perspective. That's true. I would argue I probably have more technical knowledge about writing than any other person I know. But that's because I use it as an excuse to not actually have to write. If I can just study writing and understand it, maybe I'll be better at it, which isn't how it works, unfortunately. But it is what I try to do. Writing a story, I go back to documents to write some more. I fucking blinded myself. I'll be back soon. No worries, mate. I hope I'm not coming across badly right now. No, you're not. I just know we've always had different opinions on this. I'm not offended or anything by any of it, I promise. We've always had slightly different opinions on what it means to be a master at something, or if that is even something that people should strive for, or if it's reasonable or achievable. Like, those have always been, I don't want to say points of contention for us, because they don't really have, like, it's not quite that severe, but it's always been a point of discussion betwixt us in terms of the way that I view things and the way that you view things. Like, it's very different. I don't think writing a book is easy for anyone. I don't think I'm the only person in the world who struggles. I just wish I didn't struggle too much to produce really anything. Yeah. And there's so many factors that affect that people don't always acknowledge. Because, like, books are hard in 1,000 different ways. Sometimes it's the time commitment that writing a book takes several years. Some people could write a book if it weren't for the time commitment. Some people could write a book if it weren't for the length of the book. Some people could write a book if they were better at world building, if they were better at character development, if they were better at plot development, like linear plotting. Some people could write a book if they were better at typing, if they didn't struggle so much with grammar. Some people are just, they have determination. Like, if they didn't need the motivation rather than determination. Some people are able to just work on something even when they don't have any interest in it, or when it makes them feel bored, or when they don't like it. Some people are capable of working on it even then, like pushing through the discomfort. Some people are not capable of that, whether it's because of ADHD or just the desire not to. Like, there's so many different, like, reasons that writing something like that might be inaccessible to you. It all depends on the type of book you're writing. I wrote an edition for a story-based SMP, and it made me realize the reason why my writing feels terrible is because my characters are terrible, because I'm just so bad at people. I can't read them, I can't describe personalities, I can't write a person because I don't have the capability to understand how to describe feelings. That's where you practice. Some people get better at understanding, like, real-life humans and scenarios because they study into, like, relationship dynamics and stuff, like, through a writing lens, and therefore develop a better understanding of people as a whole. Everything in life is a skill. You just gotta practice it. I've written several children books, but I haven't been able to get more than 6 chapters of my novel in 5 years. None of the books are published properly, but since I'm around little kids so often, the books do get read. That's really fun, though. That's cool. It's cool to have access to something like that where, like, your books are being consumed, even if maybe not, like, in a traditional sense. They are still, like, they have access to an audience. An audience is, like, what makes art art. I need to see your horns again. Trying to, like, figure out how to make these bitches look like lava. They do go through, like, every layer. They're just at different levels. Kind of like that. That works. I'm not listening to Storm right now. I simply can't do that. I don't think I can do this either. I can't do this though. I often find myself really doubting myself whenever I see someone doing something that I really love and they're doing it better than me. My first thought is, well, what's the point then? I get really bad about it, specifically when it's my friends. Like, for example, I love her writing, but it makes me jealous. I was the one who got her into Warriors roleplay, and she's so much better at it than I am. She feels so much better at it than I am. I just get really into my own head about my favorite things. It's true. What's the point then is so real and something I struggle with myself. And I try not to get... I have a tendency I don't quite get there. I get bad, but I don't usually get there. Specifically because, like, more art in the world, especially, like, I try to remind myself in my head as often as I can. More art in the world is always a good thing. Like, adding your art to the universe, it can only be a good... It can only be a benefit to the world. Like, it's like that one cake meme that's like, when you're like, oh, but look at all these other people. This person made a better cake than me. Why did I even bring a cake? And the person at the party is like, oh, fuck yeah, 2 cakes. Like, there's always going to be somebody who your thing is for, you know? Like, maybe they made the best carrot cake everybody's ever had, but this person only likes cheesecake, and you brought cheesecake. Like, putting your art in the world will only ever benefit the world. You know? Like, even if Emily's the best artist in her style that anybody's ever seen, if somebody doesn't like her art style, but they like mine, that's the point. Like, that's the point. If somebody doesn't like Ollie's book, but they like Reese's, that's the point. If somebody doesn't like fucking... God, who knows what. If somebody watches Jake Paul and it drives them crazy and they hate his videos, but they get a huge kick out of watching Markiplier, that's the point. Or they get a huge kick out of watching you. What is the point of me fucking streaming when there are 100,000 other people streaming on Twitch at this exact moment right now, and all of them have like 100-something viewers? What's the point? You. Because there's 100,000 other people watching all of those other people, and you're here. You're here. That's the point. That's why. Never stop trying to be better. Never stop trying to achieve your own greatness. But even your worst art still makes the world a better place. Never in all of my being upset and being insecure and being upset that I'm not good enough or whatever does it come down to, well, I just shouldn't. I shouldn't be making it. You should. Always. Always. Their jealousy, totally normal. Frustration, absolutely normal. Feel those emotions. Like, it's okay to let yourself feel them, but don't let yourself get sucked down the idea of if someone else can do it better, I shouldn't do it at all. Got a lot of emotions about that. I did 18 attacks in my first art fight. I didn't think I'd draw that many little guys. I'm very proud. That's awesome. Off topic, but did you ever forget how to like write like with a pencil a certain letter? I remember a few years ago I forgot what the letter P looked like. No, but today I forgot how to braid. If you look at my thing, I have a Dutch braid, which I do every time. And then I forgot how to braid. I braided this like 6 times and I couldn't get past like this far because I forgot how to move my fingers. It's a French braid. I read it like 6 times. I still couldn't figure it out. That's a French braid. That's a Dutch braid. I couldn't figure out how to Dutch braid. I stopped being able to braid. I like nearly burst into tears. I almost walked into Emily's room and asked her to braid my hair for me because I couldn't do it. You're gonna hit me, but it's the reason I didn't do art fights, because even though there's not competition, my mind makes it into a competition. I set myself up for failure by expecting more out of myself than I can physically give. That's like the #1 reason I've been insecure at this art fight, is that I have so many other people around me competing with me, especially living in a house with 2 other people competing with me now. Because, like, no offense to all of you guys, but you guys don't matter in the competition in my head the way that the people in my life do, like, physically around me. If, like, Rotten's done 100 attacks on art fight, Rotten's not in my life day to day. I see the attacks, I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but, like, I don't know you, you're a stranger. Versus, like, having Emily and Reese in my house with me for the entirety of art fight. Like, of course my brain's gonna make it a competition, and of course I'm gonna be pissed off when they can do more attacks than me or better attacks than me or whatever, because that's competition. And, like, obviously, like, I'm not gonna actually let it affect me or them or, like, anything. But, like, it's there. I'm not a lunatic. It's there. And maybe it's just me. Hearing that after editing 9 chapters of my book and debating even going through, I only started Another in the Universe 3 days ago. Someone else is never going to be able to draw or write or whatever the same as you. What you draw or write, but it might resonate with someone. Yeah. You have to put your you in the world. That's true. I hear you, Tyria. They're good because they're for you. I couldn't figure out how to open my meds this morning. Been there. No offense, you guys don't matter. No offense, you guys don't matter. Listen, I don't mean it in like you guys don't matter, but like you guys are strangers. You're strangers to me. It's not that you don't matter to me, but it's that I'm not trying to be competitive with you because I don't know you. I don't know your life circumstances. You're not living in my living room or my bedroom or my neighborhood. I don't know you. I'm not trying to compete with you because I don't know you. I'm secretly next door. Rotten, I'd be kind of thrilled. I feel like you seem like you'd be mad chill to hang out with. I can only fathom. If I like went to the thing is, we would never know. Actually, that's not true. You would know. I would never know. Because you know what I look like, but I don't know what you look like. You could live next door and just never tell me, and I would never know. Which is super weird, but that's true. I could live nearby to like a fan, and I'd never know unless they decided to tell me, because you guys are just screens in my brain. I forget that you guys even have physical forms. Just ask Cypher. I unironically, if you guys draw, I picture you like your art. I don't know what you look like, so I picture you like whatever you draw. Like, Cyber is fully just like a television screen in my brain. Guys, please don't have a job. That tracks to me. It is. Like, Rotten looks like Rotten's art. Rotten has a yellow cast over them at all times. They've got a yellow overlay layer on them at all times. Oh. This is what am I? You're the little guy. The little guy in your animations that runs around. That little thing. That's you. You're running around in that. Yeah, Rat King is just a rat. Fully tracks. Jess, I've seen on whatever. What am I? See, admittedly, Voracious, despite the fact that I know you and I meet you and I know what you look like. In my head, I'm never picturing that. Unironically, when I picture talking to you, I picture like I picture your Sona online, not like your like actual Sona, but a combination of your art style and some like anime maid, like an anime cat maid, and I'm like, yep, checks. Like, that's where my brain goes. Rotten's a creep. Represent creepy. No, genuinely and creepy. What am I? The letter V. Tyrio is just the color blue. Tyrio's like a blue dog. Except like it's like a very crudely drawn dog. Like it's not drawn right. To be fair, my wolf girls who's act like cats, so the wrong dog tracks. Please tell me everyone still remembers my face. There's probably people here who have never seen your face. There's probably a good number of people here who have never seen your face. I think of your face to lull me into a peaceful slumber. I'm just a pen pal. Ollie's face is in my dreams every night. I dream of Ollie to sleep. Sorry, Ollie. Every time I drop you off, I immediately forget what you look like. Brain gone. You're the letter O. There's a poster of your face on my wall that I kiss tenderly, like pin the tail of a donkey, but with my lips. What? I can create images in my head of what everyone looks like, but I can guarantee it's not anything near correct. Yeah. Yeah, very similar to pin the tail of the donkey. I see people as how I've drawn them. For example, Tyrio's the Tyrio in the animatics I've done. Ollie is just a crying emoji. Oh yeah, Ollie's just the crying monkey emoji. Trying to do fucking fire hair over here. How the fuck am I gonna do this hair? Oh, that's kind of cool looking. I'm gonna thin some of these out a little bit. Because I feel like I need a little bit more transitional color here. Those are fun. See, that's cool. Okay. Oh, I can't see the... Hey, look how cool the art looks. I have no idea the last time you guys could see the art. I have no idea why I took it off. No idea. Anyways, I've been slowly doing this. Been slowly building up those colors. Yeah, everyone just agree. Needs more shading. Standard of the art is shit. Damn. Would love to see how cool it is. Say how cool it is. And you put your face up to show you the... Oh, yeah. Took the art up to tell us you don't matter. Looks like fire. That's what I'm trying. I'm just kind of adding colors back and forth. See, I don't need it to be more saturated. I need it to be lighter. Okay. I feel like that's cool looking. I feel like I'm getting somewhere. I feel like there's still like a band of color here. I feel like this is kind of getting somewhere. I'm being held at respawn. This shit fire, haha, because fire, yeah. Needs a color correction appointment? What do you mean? I will say, it looks more desaturated on my computer screen than it does on my tablet, but... It does look desaturated, but we're just gonna go with it because I'm not done. These are just base colors. Okay. God damn it. And then over the nose and into the fire. And then over the nose, down, under. Hang on, let's flip this. So I can work in this direction. Oh, I don't know how it connects to his ears. Oh well. We'll go like that. Like that. Down, over to the jaw. And then to the center. Boop. Center. To the center. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. 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 Oh, it goes through both. God damn it. Something like that. Not what I wanted. Normal. Yeah. Okay, cool. Have a good night. All right, night, mate. I need a picture of paint on tree bark for a cover photo of something, but I couldn't find one online. So I went and tore some bark off a tree and decided I was going to paint exactly what I wanted to it and then take a picture of it. So now I have poorly painted cats on tree bark on my desk. Perfect. That's the way to do art. Oh, this song? The Sound of Silence? It's a good song. Like silent raindrops fell. I'm actually really proud of this drawing. This is another cool one. I also don't have the line art as black. I don't think I would prefer it black. Let me see real quick. You know, I like the gray. No, I like it gray. What do you guys think? I could make it black, but I think I prefer it gray. I don't know. I think I prefer the gray. What if I just darkened that? Like just darkened the parts where it was darker. Like that. What if I just did that? What if even I lightened it slightly in the areas where it would be slightly lighter? You might not like this, but we'll try it. We'll try it. We'll try it. I don't know if I like it. And I went held me like you held her, and I will fuck you like nothing matters, and you will hold me like you held her, and I will fuck you like nothing matters. Yeah, it's too far. Okay. I like this. This is good. This feels good. I could also, as a theory, do multiply. Okay, hang on. Let's duplicate this. Let's fuck around with this layer. Multiply, but then do like this color all over. Like you held her, and you will fuck you like nothing matters, and you can hold me like you held her, and I will fuck you like nothing matters. Nah. Color burn. That's kind of fun. Like specifically there and on the back. If I just erased it like in this area. I don't know. Or I just keep with the normal, but then do like something weird like that. I don't know. We could really fuck around with it. We can get fucking weird with it. I don't know, man. Something like this. This is kind of cool. I'm doing something weird here. I don't know. I don't know. It's a warrior. No, leave the leader someday. C'est la vie. I don't feel hysteria. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. I've got to do this like weird like I don't know euphoria. Would like to meet her someday. C'est la vie. I don't know hysteria. She keeps me lonely. C'est la. Hmm. Something like this. Got that weird like neck texture thing going on. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get all up in the beard again. Because I want to do a little bit more. I want more depth in this beard. So I'm going to do some darker ones like this. And then a little bit better. Cool. Also, I may have gotten some inspiration for an art fight attack as of 12 minutes ago. Go crazy. Finally finished my one and only attack for art fight. Next year I'm not going as complicated. Nice work, though. Good job. I'm proud. Getting any art piece done is always an impressive feat to get done. Okay. Gotta collect all of this. Get it all in its same level. Boop. You can get rid of this sketch now. This was the sketch. I love being like, this is the sketch, and this is where it ended up. Something to be said about that. Okay. Let's play some games. Okay. So we know light is coming from, I've decided, up here, right? So everything in direct contact with that is going to get highlighted. As well as all of this is going to get lightened. And obviously this all get blended a little bit. But okay. Light's coming from behind, so this will be light. The eye itself is going to end up being light. With a little bit up there. And then we're going to have a little bit on anything top facing. Not a whole lot. And do like a little bit on the chest. Okay. That's something. Right? So we darkened up all that. Oh shit, does he have the fucking dark hands too? Shit. His hands also need to be dark. Okay. Um... Just gonna do this. Forgot I'm supposed to have dark hands. And then I'll have like the kind of fading on this side. Okay. I forgot the hands are supposed to be dark. Ah, art is gonna be the death of me. Okay. I would like to add. Well, actually, first on just a normal layer. Inking. I'm gonna try to do like embers. I don't exactly know how embers work, but I'm just gonna do my best. There'll be less of them as they get further away, is my assumption. But they'll also be like cooler, so they'll be darker as they get further away. And there'll be ones that are just like little like dots. Something like that. And then like Something like that. And then like motion blur it this way a little bit. And then make these into like... Yeah? I thought I heard knocking. Actually, does this work as a screen layer? Color dodge, is that what it was? We'll leave those normal. Turn these color dodge. Maybe Gaussian. Yeah, something like that. Something like that, yeah. I'm gonna try to like put some of this in a couple places. Cause like I wouldn't mind like a little bit around here. Get some of that like some of that light going. And then what if I do... Yeah, because like the light, guys, hear me out. It's like rim lighting. Hear me the fuck out. Hold on, the art is arting. Okay, I need another multiply layer. I need some shit to be darker. Some shit's not dark enough. I just need like... I do want more red. I thought I might want a cooler color, but I don't. Dark. Having a double lighting source is always weird. That adds something. I'm trying to decide if I even... Do I need the back light source, or should I just commit to the upper light source? Like, I very well could... Like... Nope. Multiply place. Like if I just like committed away from this and just committed to the front light, like it might be more impactful if it's just being lit from there. Maybe we just work with one light source. Maybe he's the light source. Maybe he's always been the light source. Maybe the light source that you seek has been inside you all along. In which case, this needs to be extended. That one. So like stuff over here needs to be darker then. Maybe that was the way. The way you work with lighting is insane. I would rage so hard trying to do it. It's kind of just following the light, just figuring out where it ends up going. Like what it ends up casting on and what it doesn't. Honestly, it's taken me years to get here. And Art Fight has done a lot to help that. Every year. I benefit a lot from doing Art Fight. It's just, it's almost like being forced to practice is good for you. Let's try to make that a little darker. Grab one of these and like it's my multiply layer. Something like this kind of feels right. I realized someone I attacked like 2 weeks ago that I found because they commented on my TikTok didn't comment on the attack. You comment on my TikTok and then ghost my attack. Yeah. I really think the etiquette this year has been really bad for some people. I've got plenty of people who are been very normal art fighters, and I've even run into some of the nicest art fighters I've ever met in my entire life this year. But there's been some really awful etiquette on Art Fight this year. Stop acting cool and just be a good person. The day's marked interest. Add him up, is it worth it? Well, I wrote you a letter, kept it in my garage. At my parents' place where they you in the back of your car. And there's just no telling where we'll be in a decade. But I hope you'll remember that today was a good day. I forgot to shade those rocks. I need to go shade those rocks. It's no use I'll avoid them. Longer I think, the less staying behind them. So look at me now. you see, you won't see it for long. I gotta shade my rocks. I sneezed and my arm started bleeding. Crazy. I feel so bad because I have to finish some revenge and I just haven't been motivated at all to art. I get it. I haven't been paying attention to thank yous that much. I only pay attention to like it's important to me to get like a response. It's not required. And like maybe this is mean of me, but I think basic etiquette, when somebody is giving you a detailed, sometimes hour-long gift, right? Because this isn't like an exchange, you know, I'm not expecting anything in return, but I'm giving you a gift. Something that has taken me likely hours to do. I've put a lot of care and thought into it, read your character's description, you know, got invested in something that matters a lot to you. I didn't have to do this, but I've chosen to give you this gift. If I gave you a gift and then you were like looked at it and then took it and like walked away with it and didn't say a fucking word to me, I'd be really insulted. And I view Art Fight super similarly. That like, if you are not capable of giving just the bare minimum of like, thank you. This means a lot. This is super cool. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the art. Have a good Art Fight. Anything. You don't have to do all of them. Anything. Any of those. If you can't do the bare minimum of thanking somebody for the gift, I think you're an asshole. And I don't want to like I don't want to be an asshole myself. But like truly, you can't like if somebody has spent several hours making you art, you can't spend like 30 seconds typing thank you and then sending it and then moving on with your day. Oh, but they're busy and oh, but it takes 30 seconds. Like it truly takes 30 seconds to respond. Well, we're not on every day, so do a mass response every couple of days. Go through your attacks and give a couple thank yous. Like, it just isn't that hard, and it means so much. You don't have to write out a well thought out paragraph. Most people keyboard smash and send a smiley face, and that's enough. Oh, but I have anxiety and I don't know if I'm responding right, and I'm anxious and I don't know what to say. Go read other people's comments. Being socially inadequate or socially awkward doesn't excuse you to be an asshole. Learn. I was really, really awkward my first couple of years, and I wasn't sure what the etiquette was for responding to comments and how I should do it. You know what I did? I went and checked out a bunch of other people's comments and learned. I read up. I learned what the social acceptance is. And sometimes if I don't know, I'll specifically go to that person's account and see how they respond to other people's art. And I will reciprocate. I will mimic them. I will give them the energy that they put out. I'm friends with someone who attacked someone. They're so ungrateful that they didn't receive a revenge. I said I wasted so much time on those dinosaurs and they attacked everyone but me. And I was like, well, I don't think they just didn't revenge you. And apparently they went through this person's attacked and compared revenge attacks received and who got what. And I was like, bro, that's so creepy and weird. It's free art. You can't be ungrateful like that. Yeah. Admittedly, I will get butthurt a little bit if I go through somebody like, and I don't go through somebody's account, but if like I look at somebody's account and I see they say like always revenge, and I see like they've got like a 50-50 ratio and like it looks like they're constantly revenging people and I haven't gotten anything from them. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, that's weird. And I'll look at their art and see where their revenges like are at and like see like, oh, are you really behind or did you just not give me an art back? And sometimes it's that they're really, really behind. And sometimes it's that I didn't get a piece of art. And you know what? That's fine. I just didn't get a piece of art from them. That's okay. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'll sometimes go check to be like, oh, did I not get something from you? Like, I shouldn't be expecting something. Or, like, are you, like swamped right now? And I don't really care either way. But this is the first year I've ever really gone and done that. Because it's the first year that I've done so many attacks that I actually have, like, lost track. And I don't really care. Saying thank you is the bare fucking minimum. Yeah. You can even lie if you hate it, just say something, truly. Nobody is that busy. I drew someone's little guy and they never said anything, so I yeeted the art. Like, I know it was not the best art, but it was art nonetheless, yeah. Even if you're bad at DMs, I think you can't be too much. You don't even have to DM them, you just comment underneath it. Like, I will say, I never before in art fight have I gone through anybody's attacks and like seen if somebody is revenge before, but Emily has talked about doing it. So out of curiosity, I've like gone and like, huh, did this person revenge me? And like, it's fine if they didn't. I like, even like there's somebody I know right now that I like recently, not even recently, I attacked a while back that she had gotten an attack from. And I was like, oh, like, that's cool. She got a revenge. I'll do an art piece for this one because they seem really cool. I'd love to get art from them. It's cool if I don't. And she like was going through them and like, it looks like you're next. And I was like, I understand if I just don't get them because their last couple of pieces of art haven't been revenges, and that's fine. Like that, like I'll accept it. It's whatever. Like, it's not a big deal, truly. I definitely like, I understand it. It's like a little bit of like, that sucks, but it doesn't stick with me. It just doesn't. I'm always just like, this is also admittedly, this is also the first year that I've like, how to say, like, I've like done art with the hopes of getting attacked, really. I don't have a tendency to do that. I have a tendency to do art for people who seem like they're not getting art from anyone else. That's usually like my preferred, is I like go and like find people who like haven't been attacked and do art for them rather than like, oh, I like your art style, I want art from you. Like, I prided myself more on like, I get the people who nobody gets. Like, if nobody's attacked you, fret not, I've got you. That was kind of like my thing for a while. And this is the first year that hasn't been like my like #1 priority. Like, I'm also like, I will attack the people who have not been attacked. And also, I'm going to attack some people that like, I would love art back from you. Do I need it? No. But like, I've had it on the mind this year when I normally don't have it on the mind at all. Which I think is why it's the first year that I've even noticed when I don't get attacks from some people. Because I've never really cared previously. This is the first year that I've got people to compare to where I'm like, oh, they've got more like attacks than me, or they've got more like revenges than me, or they've got better attacks than me. Like, every time I catch myself doing it, I'm always just like, gross, move on. And then I move on. Yeah, just smash your keyboard, 0 effort, genuinely. I don't understand. The person that they attacked was someone we both knew, and I knew the person she attacked, and she was like, I thought we were on good terms, but apparently not. And I was like, I mean, unless like, if she like attacked them with the understanding that like you guys, they had like communicated that they would be attacking each other, then I would be butthurt. I'd be upset if I like agreed with my friend and then we didn't. Like, if like me, Reese, and Emily all agreed like, yeah, we'll attack each other, and then like I attacked Emily and she didn't attack me back, I'd be butthurt. But like, that's like if you communicated that. If you haven't, that's yeah, not how art fight works. All right. Now the question is, what else do I need? I do be doing this recently. I don't know if there's much else I really need, honestly. Do that thing that Emily does. Hang on. How does she do this? She does... yeah, color. How are my values? It's not just Emily that does this. It's just a smart artist thing, and I don't do it a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I know what I'm looking at, but values are like my biggest failing, so I'm not really sure what matters. I know contrast, which is good. I've got my darks and my lights next to each other. Looks like I've got some good darks and some good lights. Most of the bottom of the piece is very medium. Maybe I could push it a little bit more. Like if I maybe push this guy a little bit more. Painting. If I were to darken this a little bit more. Oops. So it's got a like this will kind of like draw even darker distinction. And then maybe lighten up the arm a little bit. Like I kind of bring a little bit of separation between those two. That back area wouldn't be though. But I could use a little bit. Something like this. Like that. Yeah, that actually added really good. And then look. See, my values are more right. See, these were all the kind of same. So now I've got more dark against light. And it looks better. See? It's almost like she's got a goddamn point to it. It's almost like there's a fucking reason people do this shit. Nah. Anyways, what were you talking about? I ignored chat. Spectre Hearts is heading to bed, sleep well. The whole point of art fight is a give and take, so it makes sense to be disappointed if you're giving more than you're getting. Yes, but also no. Like, yes, you're correct in that it is a give and a take because it's supposed to be a trade. But Art Fight tries to be super clear about the fact that this is not an art trading game. It's an art gifting game. Like, it's all, despite the fact that there is the social rule of it's kind to revenge, unless somebody on their thing specifies, I always do revenges, like, there is no reason to ever expect a revenge from somebody because so many people play Art Fight differently. Like, it's totally okay to be bummed, but, like, it's definitely not a requirement. It is supposed to be a gifting game. You're supposed to just give generously, and if you get back, then that's cool. Like, you're not entitled to it, and also, like, it's not in the rules, and it's not even, like, a social faux pas to not attack, you know? Like, you are super allowed to not attack. Even if you, like, specify, like, I attack everybody or whatever, like, you should never expect a revenge unless somebody specifies they revenge. The only reason I'm so put off is the way she texts our group chat. I wish I could explain it better. It's just so rude. I get you. It just makes me mad when I see people that, like, you cannot be disappointed, bro. Like, bro, chill. People are feeling their own emotions, not reflecting them negatively on others. Take a chill pill. She decided to attack because she wanted art from them, put a few days of worth detail into it, hoping to get a better piece, and they got pissed and she got nothing at all. Yeah, it happens. But I can also see it going too far if you're only doing it to get free art and you're not satisfied by all the gifting part. Yeah, If you're volatile about it, fuck you. If you're feeling a normal amount of emotions, who cares? Completely real. A bounce light is such a good idea. I will do more bounce light. Thank you, Emily. I'm such a slut for validation that if I get equally, if not more excited about comments, genuinely, which is why I'm pissed that the person watched my TikTok and didn't respond to my attack. I did 18 arts for art fight, but yeeted 2 because I understand my art style is not for everyone. What do you mean by yeeted 2? Like you like deleted them from the site? Admittedly, I would never. Even if somebody doesn't, like, even if somebody doesn't comment, even if somebody doesn't revenge, even if somebody doesn't appreciate, like, even if I look back and I'm disappointed by my own art, once it's up, it's up. I won't shy away from my art. I won't shy away from growth. Night Rotten. You know me and my fairness brain. Yeah. I had to turn my fairness brain off for art fight, otherwise I'd go crazy. Yeah, I hear. I like to agree that with Reese, like, yeah, you're not entitled, but I don't think it's weird to be bummed. No. Especially if somebody who usually does revenge doesn't revenge you. That's super normal to be bummed. I don't care about getting art back. I just want to comment. Let me know you saw it and, like, maybe that you liked it. Yeah, genuinely. I'm already deliberating how to make cooler character sheets for next year. I don't think I'll do full character sheet redraws next year unless some things really change. I dedicated an insane amount of time to character sheets pre-art fight this year. Like, months. With, where'd they go? These guys. Like, not only having, like, a full, like, lineup of everybody, but having, like, everybody has well-designed, individual, specific character sheets that have everything you could possibly need. Unless things really change, these are it. These are what we're using. Like, if I draw more art of them, I'll add it on. But, like, unless something really changes, I don't think I'm going to be redoing the character sheets themselves. Emily, do you mean a bounce light like a rim light? Like the way the, like, okay, hang on. Let me specify before you answer. Do you mean rim light like more red stuff over here because there is fire? Or bounce light like light over here because things you mean that. That looks good. You mean that. That is what Emily means. Emily means bounce light, not rim light. Emily means bounce light. Family, it's my God-forsaken right. I just need to make character sheets, and so many of my characters are missing them. Mine were not that dedicated, and I know I can do them significantly better now. Yeah, for sure. I made them on canvases that are like 5 pixels wide. Yeah. I also, and this is something I keep saying, and I keep saying it over and over, and half the time I'm saying it for myself, but like half the time I'm saying it for other people also, specifically to Emily and Reese. I keep running into this thing of like in terms of, I'm saying it for myself because they're saying, well, this next year I'm going to do this thing, and next year I'm going to do this thing. And it's like, I keep reminding myself really quickly of like, this is my 5th year doing this. I've been doing this for 5 years. So like, when you say like, oh, like I'm going to redo all my character sheets next year, and I was like, I'm probably not going to. It's also because this was your 1st year and next year's your 2nd year. So you're going to do a bunch of new shit next year. And I'm probably going to do the same stuff because I've been doing this for 5 years, and like, I don't need a full overhaul. Like, I'm reminding myself, and I'm just talking to Emily about it too. When I was like, yeah, I've never gotten an animated attack. And she's like, neither have I. And I was like, yeah, well, it's your 1st year. She's like, well, I know, I'm not trying to compare. And I was like, no, it's not that I'm trying to compare, but there's a difference between, like, in my head, like, I had to state out loud that there's a big difference between I didn't get an animation attack this year and I've never gotten an animation attack and it's been 5 years. Like, those are 2 very different statements, because neither of us have ever gotten an animation attack. But yours is in the past year and mine is over the past 5 years. Like, those are different. And I don't mean to compare them. I just I need to state it because it means something different. I'm curious if you've ever considered removing a character from your Artfight profile if they're the character who get all the attacks. So there's two things you can do on Artfight. You can remove a character, but you can also archive a character. Archive characters can no longer receive attacks, but the attacks all stay up on Artfight. Whereas if you remove a character, it removes all of the attacks on Artfight, I believe. Like, I also, like, I've considered removing Zesper because I don't give a shit about my Persona character at all. But everybody likes drawing him. There are a lot of people that like drawing him. But there's also that, like, there's a balance between, like, I get art from people who probably wouldn't otherwise attack my account because they found a Possumosi that they like. Like, but that's, like, one thing. You're removing them from as an option to attack. That would be archiving them. So, like, I've considered archiving Zesper before, and I believe I have archived... I have an archived character. My Spider Sona, I believe, is archived. I think. Because I used to have the Spider Sona up, but I was like, I just truly couldn't care less about him. Let me see. Manage characters. Yes, I have the Spider Sona has been archived. And he never ended up getting an attack, but I just didn't delete him fully because I didn't care. Hey, the Fakin attack is in. I've seen this one already, but Mindstorm is on there. Your what? My Spider Sona. This question was inspired by your TikTok about Zadkiel. Yes, the TikTok about Zadkiel made me giggle a lot. Because that was I saw that trend going around and I thought it was just obscenely funny. But yeah, I've considered it. Like, I've considered pulling Zadkiel or pulling specifically Zesper, because, like, if I'm getting a bunch of art from a character about a character that I really care about, I'm really not all that mad. Like, if it's all from a character that, like, really matters to me, that's cool. If I get a bunch of art for Zadkiel, I'm not super pissed about it. I gotta figure out how to do this properly. But yeah, if I'm getting a bunch of attacks on, like specifically Zesper. I'm picturing a spider with a human head, and I don't think that's correct. Spider Sonas were from the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse stuff, where you, like, what if you were Spider-Man? Because everybody can be Spider-Man. And mine was the exoskeleton. This is my Spider Sona. There he is. It's just me, but if I was Spider-Man, this is my Spider-Man Sona. My Spider-Man persona, not my Sona as a spider. Not what I wanted. There you go. Barefoot in New York City makes me shiver, you freak. Listen. Another reason I could not do art fight. I'd be irrationally annoyed if I get too much art of the character I care the least about. Yeah, I get a lot of art for Zesper. I don't care about it. I don't want Zesper art, but I also know that means that people can attack me who otherwise, like, I wouldn't be making more space for, like, Zadkiel art or Azazel art. Most of the people who are attacking Zesper, if I didn't have a character like that there for them to attack, probably wouldn't attack me at all. That's, like, part of the reason that I don't bother removing it. Because, like, I probably just would not get attacks from that person. It's not that I would suddenly get, like, so many new Azazel pieces of art. I just probably wouldn't get anything from these people. I don't know if this is doing what I want it to do. I don't know how to make it do what I want it to do. I don't even know what I want it to do. I don't really do bounce light. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm gonna be real with you, Captain. Like that? Is that doing what I want it to do? Is that more correct? I'm more emotionally attached to art I've gotten of characters at the top. The art of Fenari is just pretty and I can look at it fondly. Not to be ungrateful, I'm just agreeing. Yeah. I'm also sad not all my characters got attacked, but I was kind of expecting that. Yeah, same. Othello has gotten no attacks, and somebody else. Embry? Yeah, Othello and Embry have gotten 0 attacks this year, which it happens. Like that's what it is. But it also like is like it's fair to be bummed about. I'm trying to like express that like I understand and I'm okay with it, and also like it's super fair that like to be bummed about it also as well. Metzi got 1, but it was being turned into a koi fish, so kind of Metzi. But not really. Oh, I remember the koi fish. Also, I just called him Metzi. It's Maisley. But I read it and it went Metzley. I'm so mad I haven't even posted any characters, let alone done any. Yeah, I went Maisley, but I went Metzley. I know how to pronounce Maisley. I just like my brain saw it and like I couldn't read it. I'm so mad I haven't even posted any characters, let alone done any attacks, but I'm about to lock in. Yeah, you've got like what, 3 days? What do we have left? Yeah, 3 days and 14 hours. And we are still at an almost completely tied game at this point, which is crazy. I've never ever seen art fight tied like this. I'm gonna see what other little like details I can add before I'm done. Absolutely bonkers. Likely of the color scheme still saved from the little spring thing. Are your artists inspiring to me? Oh, thank you. Yeah, this was from the spring thing, huh? Yeah, I have a bunch of palettes that I use sometimes. I just haven't used a palette since that. Also, lighting is everything in my art. Like, this is all lighting. If I take the lighting away, it's just back to this, which is like, this is a fine drawing. This is not a bad drawing, but like, that's what we're going for. But like, the difference is pretty intense. And once again, I get to the point where like my art feels unfinished. I know a lot of people do like little border shits. Like maybe I do a little border shit as well. I've been like adding them in recently because like I feel like my art needs fucking something. I just don't always know what. Okay, hang on. I forget you're supposed to like... I could make this... See, and that, like, something about that, like, finishes it. That I'm like, oh, it's done. I don't know why. Xander, I think you should know the reason I've been playing with lighting so hard is because of you. Aw, well, that's so cool. You've done an insane amount. Like, you've done crazy shit with your lighting. Like, I think it's one of the things you've developed the most, beyond just, like, your facial structure, which has developed a shit ton over Art Fight. Like, not that you had bad facial structure, but I keep seeing it develop, like, into, like, a harder and harder style. Like, you've really fucked around and found out with lighting. I feel like it's one of the things that, like, takes your art... And I will admit, it's a crutch for me. It's one of the things that takes your art from fine to great. Like, this is a fine piece of art. This isn't a bad drawing. I can get rid of this now. This isn't a bad drawing by any means necessary. This is a good drawing. This is a great drawing. Like, there is just something about lighting that takes it to a very different level. But, like, I don't know. It becomes a crutch for me sometimes because I'm like, oh, I don't have to draw super well. I'll just render it nicely. And then I rush through the drawing just to get to rendering it to make it look nice. And it still doesn't look nice because it's bad. Like, it's something I need to be more careful of. Like, it was something I struggled with, I don't remember which drawing it was, like, earlier in the year. It is this guy. That I was like, oh, I'm gonna do really cool lighting for this, so the drawing can be mediocre. And the drawing was mediocre, and guess what? The lighting was also mediocre. Honestly, all of it was mediocre. This is, like, one of my least favorite pieces I've done this year. Because it just didn't end up, like, I rushed this one out, admittedly. Like, I fully, truly admit. I have a couple pieces this year that were rushed because I wasn't inspired by them, and I just needed to get, like, a revenge done. Rushed. Just wanted the revenge done. Rushed, just wanted the revenge done. Rushed, just wanted the revenge done. Like, I feel bad about it, but sometimes I'm not inspired. I really wanted to do really well in these characters. I could not focus. I could not lock myself in. This one, even this one's like slightly rushed. Marie's was a little rushed, but this one actually turned out really cool. I was happy with that. It was a fun little... But it is like, again, I could do so much better, but this was fun. I'm really happy with this one, actually. Shit. This one turned out really nice. And I also think I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm good. Cool. You've both improved a lot, Jen, and the work you've done has been great. Thank you. Yeah, I also do feel like at the very least, I've done a lot of experimenting and playing around this art fight that I don't normally do. And I'm coming out of this doing a very different style than I started the year with. The first drawn person attack I did this year was this. Look at this. This could be done with the same level of intensity of the art piece I'm doing right now, but this was how my year started. Completely different brush for several things, for both the coloring, the lighting, like everything on here is done differently than what I just did. But this is the same idea of like a dark figure with one like intense lighting. And it's like, that did not turn out like this did. There's been some development this year. I'm actually really happy with this one. That's cool. Sometimes I wonder if people are gonna think I'm like not one artist. Because yeah, I just really do not draw consistently, but that's life for you, Captain. This is something I'd be really happy to receive. So I hope they are also happy to receive this. I need upload. Boop. Okay. I struggle with rendering so much, honestly. That's something that I'm kind of sad about this year, is the rendering thing. Rendering is a really difficult skill to learn. Like, it's like there's like something about it that like it seems easy, but it 99% of my rendering comes from fucking around and finding out. Like it really is just from like playing around until I figure out what I want. And trying different types of lighting and rendering and whatever. Different brushes. I don't think this guy's gotten any attacks yet. He is not. I will be the first to attack him. To attack this character. Cool. All right. And this is a half body. You didn't attack me, right? Yeah, no. This is me just attacking you for fun. Choose file. And then photo library. This guy. Get him in here. Choose file. Photo library. Beep, beep, beep. Boop. Cool. And this is a clean drawing, fully colored, fully shaded, a simple background. I'll call this an abstract background because I did all the little ember things. I'll call that an abstract background. Okay. Anything else? I don't think so. I think that's all of it. Half body, clean colored, abstract, clean line, fully shaded, 56 points. All right. Whoop, boop. I just did not have enough time to do a lot of attacks, so I can't see any kind of progression on how I do art. Yeah, I don't normally see a lot of progression in art fight. I normally see a lot of progression between art fights. A lot of my progression isn't over the course of the month because I don't normally do enough art to progress in a month. But I'm really happy with this piece. This is a good piece. Something I really want to do is go back to my first attacks and re-attack them. Because it's been 5 years. Well, no, this is my 5th year, so I guess it's only been 4, right? Because this was in 2021. So next year, it'll have been 5 years since I did the art. Even though, right? Even though this is my 5th... Wait. My first year, second year, third year, fourth year, 5th year. So it's only been 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So next year, I will re-attack this person if they still exist. Oh. It doesn't seem that they're still active. Oh. Oh no. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I think next year for Unstealth, I'm going to attack him again first. It's like maybe a tradition. That would be crazy to pick one character and attack them first every year. That'd be a pretty intense dedication. I was just thinking of doing it as like 5 years. Just run every time would be a little crazy. I guess I could just see if any of my people are still active. Oh my god, this person is. Are you still active this year? 13 hours ago. Yo. Yo, you're still active. Crazy. Where's the character I attacked? Oh my god, they have so many characters. Holy shit. Just trying to identify the one that I attacked. It's the one with the blindfold. Where is it? There he is. Oh, he has more references than when I first attacked him. There I am. He's only gotten 2 attacks since I attacked him 4 years ago. Crazy. Yeah, this was the second attack I ever did in an art fight. This was also the thank you very much, but I will get you back, and then I never got back, which is very funny. I also called this a polished. This was a polished many a year ago. Truly crazy behavior. Good lord. You're all... Oh, this character's hidden. Oh no, I couldn't attack this character. It's hidden. This person's still active though. They're on my team. They were just on an hour ago. Maybe one day I'll go back and reattack one of these people. Probably next year if they're active. Ah, Succulent, you're on the other team. Crazy behavior. Yeah, I had questionable skill levels the first time I again, I'd like to clarify. This wasn't middle school. This was 4 years ago. I was 20. I was 22. I was 22. Years old. Drawing like that. Insane behavior. And I did say he was hard to draw, but I tried closer to your style for something. I was trying to experiment with a different style. And I just could not. And then literally the next attack I did was this. This is the next attack I did. And I was so devastated. No comment. Nothing. Fucking nothing. They've gotten so much art. They barely respond. I'm sure they've gotten 1 million attacks for this. Yeah. See, not even that many. Does she respond to other people? Was mine just bad? No, this is just the type of person that doesn't respond. Sometimes a response that way, revenge. But that's crazy. Some people have done some really cool attacks. Holy crap. Crazy. I don't know. Now I'm just looking at people. Boop. Oh yeah, I did get a attack. My boy! I already knew this one was coming because of the Discord, but I was very excited. My boy! Anyways. Good lord. I stayed up later than I anticipated doing this. It's been 3 hours I've been working on that piece of art. Crikey. But I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of whatever mediocre creations I make in my desperate attempt to be mediocre at everything. I live my life off of goddamn, what's the word for it? Side quests. I live my life off of side quests. Everything I've ever done is a side quest. And one day I'll lock in and finish something specific. Specifically, my book is going to be the next thing that I 100% lock in my heart and soul. And we'll see how it goes. But I also am not going to stop doing all the other things that I love just because I'm locking in on one thing. Chano? So, just one of those things. See if there's anybody streaming Art Fight that I can go give you guys to. Let's see. Who are you? You're a person, or you're a person. You do some cool art. There's a couple people live. Render Hell, Art Fight Month Grind, Mass Attack Go Burr. Oh my god, there's so many things going on that screen that is so overwhelming. Not necessarily a bad thing, but holy. Ooh. Are you... It doesn't say you're doing Art Fight. Okay, hang on. We're gonna listen in. We're gonna listen in. Dead silence. Dead silence? I do that sometimes. Okay, so there's this person, or I was looking at you. Listening in, listening in. Ooh, that art's cool. Wait. I want to go hang out with this person. This person's got some cool art going on. Boop. Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy this as well. All right. We're going to somebody brand new today. So please, for the love of God, behave. If they end up weird, I don't know you, you don't know me, we don't know each other, we've never met, etc., 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 etc. They've got like 7 people there right now. So I'm gonna get you over there. I'm gonna load you up on a raid. I'll be around again this week a couple of times. So until that time comes around, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and please don't be weird in other people's channels. You reflect poorly on me. Draw your dad. Or I will draw him like one of my French girls. Have a good night, everybody.